All right, welcome into the Breer Report for October the 15th. A lot of news to get to here at the league meeting in Atlanta. We're going to start our first topic for today is the Davante Adams trade to the New York Jets. The Raiders trade Adams to the Jets for a conditional third round pick that can become a second round pick if Adams is either first or second team All Pro, or the Jets playing the AFC title game or the Super Bowl with Adams on the 53-man roster. Woody Johnson just spoke in the lobby of the hotel. You could certainly sense the urgency from the Jets owner in getting a deal like this done now. But it wasn't a result of the loss last night. Adams was at the Jets facility this morning. He flew in last night overnight from Vegas. So this was a deal that had been in the works for a while. Obviously, the teams have been in contact for a while. It was pushed over the goal line last night before the game and before the Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills, 23-20 in Monday Night Football. And so now, if you want to spin this forward, look at what it means for the Jets going forward. They're obviously going to have to figure out how they deploy all of their weapons. At receiver alone right now, they've got Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Mike Williams, and Davante Adams. How are the reps split up? What does this mean for Garrett Wilson's role in the offense? What does this mean for the running game? There are a lot of unanswered questions that'll have to be worked out. Now, the good news is that you do have offensive coordinator who's no longer the play caller, but still has the offensive coordinator title and still is very involved in game planning, and Nathaniel Hackett, who worked with Adams for a few years in Green Bay. And there's a system in place with the Jets that has similar terminology and concepts. So Davante Adams is going to be walking into a situation where he's got good familiarity with the quarterback. He's got good familiarity with the system. And on top of that, you're looking at a team right now that really needs a jolt. And clearly the Jets, coming out of 2-4 start, are getting that jolt. The hope was that they would get it from the coaching change. Whether or not they showed more energy last night, you can argue that until you're blue in the face, but they wind up losing the game. And now here comes another move for a team that is leveraged and all in on what's right in front of them right now. The Son Reddick situation is still out there to be resolved. He's now got a period of time to look for a trade partner. The Jets, of course, would still like to have him in, and the feeling that the Jets have had is that he will come in to be eligible for free agency in the next few weeks if a trade isn't worked out. He needs to play this year to be eligible for free agency next year, and if he does not show up by week 12, then he wouldn't be eligible to play this year. So that's another piece that you're looking at going forward. The big question, of course, is going to be whether or not Rodgers was involved in this. And I certainly can tell you that the Rodgers was part of the discussions when the Jets looked at trading for Davante Adams. And the feeling among the teams involved in this, we've talked about this, the Steelers inquired, the Bills inquired, the Raiders engaged the Saints in trade talks as well. That was another place that Davante Adams said he'd be okay with going to. But the feeling all along was that Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers were trying to engineer a trade that would land Davante Adams with the Jets. That obviously winds up being the result now. It's a move for right now, for this year. There's a lot of uncertainty on where he is going forward. They're going to have to pay a prorated amount of the $17.25 million he's on the books for in 2024. Davante Adams' contract going forward at least makes you feel like there's going to have to be some sort of adjustment, or he's going to be a free agent after the year. He's due $36.25 million in 2025. He's due $36.25 million in 2026. Not a dollar of that is fully guaranteed. And it seems unlikely that any team, including the Jets, would pay him that much in 2025. So either that gets reworked or he becomes a free agent in 2025. Again, this is very much a move for right now. Our second topic for today, another thing that was in the news, is that Russell Wilson will get some first team reps and some consideration to start this Sunday against the Jets. And this one is interesting because, as we've said over the last few weeks, Justin Fields has a massive amount of support in that building, from the staff, from the locker room. There are people in that building who believe the right thing to do right now is to stick with Justin Fields. He's been great for them to work with. He's been a good soldier in every way. He's been involved in the running game. He's helped them mitigate their offensive line problems with his mobility. And so there are people in that building who support the idea of sticking with Justin Fields. Mike Tomlin stopped short of saying that Russell Wilson will be the starting quarterback on Sunday or at any point going forward. He, of course, named Russell Wilson the starter back at the end of August. But even back then, there were people who believed that Fields should get the job. And so where the Steelers are going forward, they're going to go through practice tomorrow, see how it goes. I think it could be a couple of days before there's a final decision on who's going to start on Sunday. And I would not rule out the idea that Justin Fields could wind up being the starting quarterback down the stretch for the Steelers. Again, because he has that support in the building that I don't think Russell Wilson has built up. All right, and our third topic, the biggest topic of discussion here at the league meeting in Atlanta is the approval of Tom Brady as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. This obviously has been in the works for a while. This got pushed back a couple of times because of other owners' concerns that Mark Davis was giving Brady a cut rate on his piece of the team. But that is expected to be pushed through today, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. And the mechanics of it are important. Now, 5% of the team is going to Tom Brady. Another 5% expected to go to Brady's business partner, guy that he's in the soccer business with over in England, Tom Wagner. And then 0.5% is going to Brady's ex-teammate, Richard Seymour, who was part of the search committee last year when the Raiders hired Tom Telesco as their general manager and Antonio Pierce as their head coach. Brady is the new minority owner of the Raiders. What does it mean going forward? Well, I think what most people have their eyes on is whether or not he's going to be involved on the football side going forward. Brady has shown some interest in doing that sort of thing. Whether or not he goes through with it will be interesting. Obviously, other owners are sensitive to his involvement with the Raiders. They put the rules in place for his role as a broadcaster for Fox, where he can't be at production meetings, he can't go into team facilities with the other 31 organizations. So the owners have sort of sent that message to him that he needs to pick a lane. And so eventually, I think there will be a decision that Tom Brady's going to have to make, and whether or not he goes forward with his broadcasting career at Fox or he wants to pursue being more involved in the team side. But either way, by the end of the day today, Tom Brady will officially be the minority owner of an NFL team. One other topic that will come up here, Atlanta is expected to be approved as the host of Super Bowl 62. I would expect that news to come down around 2:30 this afternoon. That's more of a rubber stamping. Appreciate you guys coming out. We will be back with the mailbag here in the next couple of days, and of course, another Breer Report on Friday.